and welcome to the second session with Mona and Tina on the Sofa Chat discussing all things marketing. So for those of you who weren't able to join us last time, these sessions are here for us to go through any questions you have around marketing, how we go about business growth, and we just really want to share that with you. I have been in marketing and business development for nearly 10 years now. I have worked with a lot of the bigger brands and I love sharing that knowledge with you so you know how to market your product like some of the bigger household brands do it out there.
So right now, for any business owner or if anyone that is trying to start a business, it's the best time to be narrowing down your social media skills or even getting help with it, because the number of social media users has gone up by 700% over the lockdown period, and that is due to continue because everybody is again not in their normal going to work routine. So the business environment has shifted to online. And this is why we just want to give you a few tips to show you how you can take advantage of that. So the number one tip I want you to take away from this is that you need to be connecting with your audience. Now, so many people throw this word around, connecting with your audience, but what exactly do they mean? So what you need to do is when you're creating your posts, you need to be thinking about the best way to bring that value to your audience. So, it can just be something as simple as how to do a specific something that you usually provide to your clients. Just show them how they can do it at home. Now that is so simple, but it would make your clients' lives easier, and that is what they're going to appreciate from you. Now you don't have to be going in front of a screen to do this, so you could consider actions such as I say this because so many people don't like going in front of a screen. I particularly don't like it myself. So there's so many other ways that work, and that's why we just want to show you that the littlest things, such as I was going to mention, things like writing your thoughts in your story or posting about various areas of your business, such as the background work that you do that is usually not in front of the screen. Or even posting about your hobbies, what you do in your personal life, what you enjoy, and essentially finding common ground with your audience. Now, the one thing that we always tell our clients is to make friendships, not followers. So that should really stick with you at all times. Now, make sure that you're using original content as much as possible. This is so critical because the amount of social channels we see that are all posting the same quotes, the same kind of that the new faded style of content, and it's nice, but when everyone is doing that, it's not going to help you to stick out from the crowd, and that's not the best way to portray your business. You want to be original, you want to be fresh, you want people to like you for yourself. Now, you need to be aware in this area of content because there's so many people offering to sell content, and I've seen this numerous times on Instagram where people are selling content, even selling followers and likes, and this is a trap because you're not going to grow your business like this. You're going to be relying on other people's kind of content, other people's to increase. It just doesn't make sense. So just don't do that. It's very tough starting because you're going to be you're going to be faced with a huge challenge of growing an account from scratch. And it's people sometimes get tempted to to take the easy option, which is to just buy spend a few pounds and buy these things. But don't go down that route. So you have a valuable business. Okay, so now that is over, so you know about original content and the importance of it. Now I want to talk about shop owners who they've had to close their shop during lockdown, and I want to just touch on things that you can be doing right now to help when you're with your business, essentially help boost your business in the short term and in the long term. So if you own a shop, then obviously then you'll be essentially selling things in your shop if there was not a lockdown. Now, right now, when I mentioned there's a shift in the business environment, it means that you need to be considering a new, if you want to kind of be able to flourish in the new business environment, then you need to be considering new things, such as, are you able to do e-commerce? The e-commerce industry is booming right now, in all sectors, whether it's from pharmacy, whether it's cosmetics, whether it's fitness, everything has essentially narrowed down to e-commerce, and that has not stopped because of lockdown. Lockdown has not affected e-commerce. If anything, Amazon sales have gone skyrocketing. So if you own a shop, then right now is the best time to be setting up an e-commerce strategy and taking advantage of it, because there will never be enough websites. There will never be, you don't have to spend thousands of pounds setting up a website. So this is something that I really want you to consider. And if you find that you're not very comfortable with that area, so maybe you already have a website for your business but you don't know how to make it into an e-commerce website, or how to make it like a viable method for yourself, then message us and we would love to chat with you and just give you a few tips on how to do that. Another thing is, a lot of service providers have been struggling during this lockdown period, and we completely understand. If you are a service provider, such as a salon, such as a home decorating company, or anything to do with providing a service, then we totally understand that it's been tough, and we just wanted to touch on. So obviously, providing a service, you can't go into e-commerce, but one thing that you can do is focus on maybe running. Are you able to bring tutorials for your clients? Create a new audience where you provide tutorials of how to do a specific thing that maybe customers are not getting right now from you because of the situation. There's amazing websites out there that you can put your tutorials on there and essentially just show a huge audience how to do something. And this might be a new business model for you, but again, it's something worth checking out. So it's definitely an area that we can help you with. We can provide tips on. So if this is something that you would like more information about, then definitely give us a shout, because it's very profitable and it's definitely a business model that we recommend. We've seen many business owners that have been struggling through lockdown. They used this tutorial kind of method, and they're actually making more income from it than their normal service, providing a service before the lockdown. Like, they're making more money now than they were before the lockdown. So again, this is an amazing model that we really recommend. So I just wanted to touch on the questions we received last week. Thank you so much for asking us the questions. We're going to be going over them at the end of near the end, so stay tuned as we answer the questions posed to us by our lovely followers.
In times like this, what's really important is agility. As in any year, there are seasonalities, and you can consider this to be one of them. A bit more drastic, but nonetheless is a change in behavior, in trends, and having a business that's agile and being able to change according to situations and adapt to market trends is hugely important. Of course, stay loyal to what you are, as Mona just touched on. You want to have a business that's unique, that's original, and this is really your chance to shine through and accentuate on that. You can use this time to plan for long-term success. Use this time to engage with your audience. Make sure that in terms of settings, CTAs, funnels, that in every aspect of your marketing strategy, you're set up in order to achieve a long-term success for your business, which you will thank yourself for in 12 or 18 months time. Who knows, even maybe in 6 months time. Everything's moving a bit fast. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we should really see this as an opportunity to be able to reshape ourselves and just explore areas of our business that we wouldn't otherwise had the chance to do. As a final bit, I want to add how different statistics have shown that within these last 2 months during the lockdown period and quarantine periods across the different countries in the world, engagement has increased by as much as 700%. So these are stats and opportunities that are vital for your business, and do not miss out. It's also a clear testament to the fact that in these times when people do take a break and they are looking for quality, they're looking for certain things, they spend more time researching, and you want to be part of that journey when they're researching. You might not capture them at the first instance, but this is where you want to make sure that you have a setup that is hybrid, that is multi-channel, omni-channel, whatever you want to call it. You're targeting each channel at the relevant time. But this also ties in with your audience, with your market. Where are they? Who are they? What are their interests? There are so many aspects that you want to make sure you put into your process as part of defining your strategy. When you have a solid strategy, it creates not only authority in the market, it creates trust, and trust is very key. We've touched on this and we go over it over and over again about how it's like dating, it's about creating friends. It is really about establishing yourself. Demonstrate your USP. Don't be afraid of showing who you are, what it is that you believe in, why you created what you created. Tell your story. Make people unite with you, come together with you. And these are all things that we want, especially in times like this, or especially when there is a shift in terms of trends, when there is what you might see as a downward trend in terms of conversion numbers. Then what do? You look at other parts of your reporting. You look at where there is a lift. Wherever there is something going down, there are other parts of your marketing that you can shift and adjust in order to leverage from that. So, people are very kind of used to looking at certain metrics. Be flexible and look at metrics as a sort of a more, maybe start from the top rather than the bottom. And when I mention top rather than bottom, I'm talking about look at the engagement, look at what the rates are, and in terms of the engagement rates, Are they seeing your content or ads but not clicking through? Perhaps do some testing. This is a perfect time to do testing. If your conversion rates, or even if your traffic is low, see if there are ways, or if there's creative, there's wording, there's call to action buttons. There are different things that you can play around with. See if there are certain channels that are increasing in terms of engagement. See if there's a movement in terms of the devices they're using. People are spending more time at home now. Does that mean they're spending more time in front of their computer? Or does that mean from working at home, they're tired of spending time in front of their computer? These are little things that are actually extremely interesting to get behind the scenes of, and understanding what's the psychology behind this. What's the psychology behind my audience who are looking for me? There will be someone who's looking for your product right now, and you might be in one place, you might be in all the places. So this is the time to look at what your resources are, and also don't wear yourself out. Fatigue is real, the worry is real, we all understand, and don't be afraid to talk about that. We're all it can vary in terms of how personal we want to be with a brand, and that can have its pros and cons. It's very important to be loyal to what your product is and what the core of it is, but also being careful that you're not putting those biases onto how you market your product or how you think people should perceive it. You are your product, and you have your own reason, you have your own branding. It will take time for people to get to know you. So combine your paid strategy, combine your organic strategy, move things around. PPC and paid social, they can seem like easy approaches in particular, and it might be the first place that you're cutting down because you're thinking, I'm spending money on ads and I'm not seeing the return. Don't let this discourage you. As I mentioned, there is a 7x increase in content online. So this must mean something. So whatever you're optimizing towards now, maybe you've been optimizing towards conversions, then as I've just been mentioning throughout this session, the way you nurture your audience is very, very important. Mona talks a lot about she gives you really useful tips in terms of how you can engage with your audience through the creatives and through social media channels, but don't lose them also along the way. The social media channels are part of where they are, but it's not the only place they are. They will go there, they will find you, then they will go somewhere else, but you don't want them to lose you at that point. They will return to the social media. How do you capture them then? So you caught their interest once, how do you get them back? So these are all considerations you want to be making in terms of the journey. There are different ways to go about this. You can look at having a reporting suite, and the reporting is a big part of this. If you don't have your reporting in place, if you don't have your attribution and tracking in place, everything I'm saying to you right now will sound like babble, and will not be very useful or make much sense to you. I am very heavy on the data side. I love data. I love to see what happens in the world. It's just psychology of the world presented in numbers. So to me, it doesn't get any sexier than that. But of course, we have our own way of analyzing and interpreting different aspects of our performances. But by all means, if any of this is a little bit new to you, or you just have some more questions to it, and you are familiar with it, just give us a shout, just send a message. Anything from we can help you with the social part, we can help you with the search engine part. Is that paid, is that organic? Don't worry about it. We can help you sort of make sure that you're getting that presence and you're getting the success you deserve. This is your time. You should be shining, you should be embracing, you should be so proud of what you've done, and you should let the world see it. So we would love to just be part of it. So don't be afraid to reach out.
We have time to answer 2 questions. So the first one is from Angela's Cakery, which I'll put the handle up here. So she asked us about cake businesses, and she wanted to know how she can maximize her potential. And it's a brand new page that she has, and she wants to know how to go about building a page from scratch. So my answer is that, we totally understand. We take pages that have something like 30 followers all the way to, in 2 weeks, to 200 plus followers. So we understand that at first it can feel daunting. However, growing a social channel takes a lot of work, especially when you're first starting out, but it's 100% worth it in the long term. As we always say, it puts your sales on autopilot, so it's the best thing ever. So the content, when you're starting out, the content is 100% important, but there's also so many other background work. So that's if you want to create an audience without months of waiting. So one example is making sure that you have content lined up, but also making sure you're engaging with people in a way that brings them over to your page. So I really hope that helps Angela, and anyone else that's starting a business, whether that's in cakes or anything else, then I hope that helps.
So question number 2 is from Magic Pixel 1. Fantastic page. He does a lot of illustrations, and his question was, how do I grow my business? How do I grow my page to get more engagement and likes, and then eventually convert them? Now, it's as Mona just touched on, a lot of it is about, making that sincere connection with people. So again, not followers, but friends. And this generally applies to how you work on your full funnel strategy. Social media is a vital part of it, but not the only part of it. You want to make sure that you're covering all areas of your digital presence. Might that be from Google to the different channels that are available online. This also applies to Angela's Cakery, for example. You want to be on places like Google My Business. You want to be verified on Search Console. So these are just little tools that can help you be more present and be available. And for Magic Pixel, knowing your audience, knowing their journey, knowing where you lose them, how you can re-engage with them. These are all important data sets and metrics that you need to optimize towards, and that will help you have the growth that you're looking to get.